I thank the honourable member for Macquarie and I call the honourable member for Goldstein.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. And Deputy Speaker, a strong Australia is not handed down by big government in Canberra. It's built from individuals who form families as a foundation for community and a strong nation. Each Australia Day, we honour and celebrate those Australians who've taken responsibility for the well-being of our communities and our country. And Goldstein is excited to have 15 local residents recognised in this year's Australia Day Awards, including Emeritus Professor Andrew Marcus AO for his distinguished service to tertiary education, particularly of the study of Jewish civilisation to multiculturalism. Mr Brian Davis for his significant service to the community through philanthropic support for various community-based organisations. Professor Daniel Luberman AM for his significant service to medical education, research, treatment and policy in the field of addiction. Mr Darryl Williams AM for his significant service to the legal profession and to cancer research. And Darryl and his wonderful wife Margaret are very close friends, and it was an enormous joy it brought to Brian and myself to see him honoured this year. Of course with all others, but sometimes it means something more when it's somebody close to you. The late Mr Rex Brown OAM for his service to tourism and the community of Wye River. Dr Peter Davis OAM for his service to the Jewish community of Melbourne, and Dr Susan English Donkers OAM for her service to the youth of Timor-Leste, to women and to medicine. Mr Jeffrey Good OAM for his advocacy for electoral reform. And Jeffrey, I did get your email, I did have a read, I'm not totally convinced. However, it's good that you're there arguing the case for our democracy and how we make sure that every vote is counted and heard in our democracy. Mrs Irma Hanna OAM for her service to the community, particularly through the Jewish Holocaust Centre. Mrs Frances Nichols OAM for her service to the community through a range of community-based organisations and roles. Dr Hilary Rubenstein OAM for her service to community history. Mr George Voyage OAM for his service to amateur Australian rules football and to cricket. To Mr Peter Wicking OAM for his service to education and to youth mental health. And Mr Ian Irison John PSM for his outstanding service to land titles process and product innovation in the great state of Victoria. Congratulations to you all. And Lieutenant Colonel Sharon Coates, CSC, for her outstanding achievement as a Joint Task Group Commanding Officer on Operation Bushfire Assist 2019-2020. As we begin a year, it's important to reflect on the sacrifices made by Australians every day for the betterment of our community and our country. They do so without pomp, without ceremony. They do it for what is right. While bureaucrats in Canberra will of course focus on spreadsheets, voluntary interactions between Australians and our local communities are what truly enrich and enhance our social fabric. It's the first stitch in the foundations of a great country. Individuals create a stronger society through their charity by voluntarily applying their labour and effort and innovation to the improvement of their neighbours' lives. And that is what we honour and acknowledge in these awards at Australia Day, at Queen's Birthday, and of course through many other significant events such as the recently held Bayside Citizen of the Year ceremony, and I know we have one for Glen Ira coming up. And nominations are still open if you want to nominate. Individuals create a stronger society through their enterprise by creating new solutions for modern problems. We've seen how the competitive application of medical expertise has stimulated the fastest development in a vaccine in human history. Individuals create a stronger society by accepting responsibility for their own lives and for the life of their community rather than delegating their responsibility to others. During the COVID-19 pandemic, this spirit of common responsibility and sacrifice has been so critically important. Despite the profound economic and social pain, Victorians have persisted through months in lockdown in order to protect the health of their older neighbours, and we are back, sadly, at that time again, and may it be the last time. We have also seen the success of spontaneous community initiatives in providing essential practical and emotional support to vulnerable Australians, particularly the recently unemployed and the elderly, for those who need mental health assistance and support. And if you need resources, you just need to go to facebook.com/Tim Wilson MP, and we have resources there as well. In 2021, let's harness and renew the spirit of responsibility as we build a more resilient Australia.
Order. The question